Welcome back. So we are talking about filtering down the data based on different time intelligence parameters like a specific year, month, quarter, or even going further, for example, specific day of the year. Maybe you can talk about 50th day of the year or a specific day from the week, for example, say Sunday only, or you can call it in numerically like seventh day only, something like that. So this is all covered in the time intelligence. In the last lecture we have learned that you can use the year function and month function, but there is a lot more that we need to do, and there are no straightforward functions available in the system that we are using, that is SQL server. But the good news is there is a function called date part which will provide us access to all these functions. So let us begin. But let us begin by rearranging this query. Select star from GL. There's no problem. You can write your query like that and you can see it is still working fine. And you can also only extract one specific column only, and you can see this is working fine too. And then you can also extract specific data from your date, for example, like this, year only, and you can see it is working fine. But there is a problem, and the problem is when you are working with the GL, a lot of dates have been duplicated, and as a result of that, all the columns that you are extracting from that is also getting duplicated. This is because in the GL there can be hundreds of transactions on one specific date, but when we are extracting this information, we don't have to duplicate that. We can, we can use them, or if we can just extract them once, that should be sufficient for us. Now the question is, how do we get rid of these duplicates? Well, the very simple answer is the dates field are used from the calendar table. So in our database, we should always have a separate table named as calendar table, and in that calendar table the dates should be maintained. So let me basically remove this and let me say, let us bring a star from calendar so that we can see everything. So this calendar table should basically contain the dates right from the start of the data to the end of the data. And ideally, hopefully, there is no, well, not hopefully, this is how it is supposed to work. There should not be any duplicates on the date. So this is how you efficiently manage your data without duplicates. You have a separate calendar table. Now, whoever prepared this calendar table for us in your company, it must be your IT department, they have been very kind to us and they have already arranged year, quarter, month and day for us. But it doesn't matter. Even if there is not, we can do that ourselves. So let us ignore everything here that has been done for us. Let us talk about only the date, and then we can extract everything for ourselves. So how we are going to extract that? The answer is date part function. So date part function, and within that function we will be giving our commands of year, and now you can see we have given the year command, press comma, and now you also need to mention that from where the system should be extracting the year. So I would be giving the date as well. So let's press F5 now to run this, and you can see that system has extracted the date, the year for every single date here. Let us read it again. Select the date and then date part, which is basically saying that extract the year from the date from calendar table, and you can see you have your answers. By the way, there is no column name here, so I would be applying the column name as, let us call this YR. Press F5 and you can see you have year here, and by the way, you can also write it year as well. There is no problem either. Let us move forward, and for that please apply a comma and let us extract quarter. So date part and then in the brackets quarter and then comma and then date column, and then call it the QTR, or you can call it quarter completely, and press F5, and here you have quarter number. Let me scroll down to see if it is working fine or no. So here you can see the year is 2019, which is correctly extracted, and since it is the month of June, the quarter should be 2, which is correctly extracted. Moving forward, let us apply again date part, and in that date part, by the way, please don't forget to apply comma here. And if you write everything correctly in your query, and if your answer is still not correct, all you got to do is simply copy paste the query in the chat GPT and ask it to fix it. It will fix it for you. So gone were the days when you have to waste a lot of time just because a comma was missing in your query. These days are gone thanks to ChatGPT. So date part, and then we can apply the formula, that is month, and then here I would say use the date, and then please bring it as month and press F5. So you have your month as well. So we have year, quarter, month, but that is not it. You can extract a lot more. So for example, say we want to extract the day of the particular year. So I would say date part, and then here I need to apply day, and in that day I would say please apply it on date, close the bracket as, and let's call it day of month or day of the month, and press F5. And please check carefully, the day you have extracted here is not day of the year, it is day of the month. Let me scroll down and see, as the month 1 has been completed, the day is coming back to 1, which means that this is day of the month. But don't worry, you can extract day of the year as well. Date part, and then here day of year, and then date, close the bracket as day of year, and press F5, and you can see your day of the year is now available to you. And at the end of month 1, even though the day of the month has become 0 and starting 1 from 1 again, the day of the year is working correctly. And as we scroll down to the end of the year, for example here 2019 is ending, you can see that my 2019 has ended here, and my day is starting from 1 again, which is basically day of the year. Right after that, let us also extract the week number. For that, all we got to do is date part, and then write week, and then from the date, close the bracket as week number, and press F5, and you can see you have week number for every single date. So you can see that from which week these dates are, and using this now you can filter down your data to see the specific week only. So for example, say we want to see the 4th week only in every single year. Now we can do that since we have access to this data. And finally, let us extract one more, that is weekday. So press comma and date part, and here we will say let us extract weekday, and from the date, close the bracket as week day, and we can close it, press F5, and you can see your weekday has been extracted. So now if we want to extract the 7th day of the week for every single week, we can do that using this filter. So that is it. We now you know that how you can actually extract any specific time parameter from your date, and we are working it on the calendar table. Now you must be thinking that your data is in the GL, and we have arranged all these parameters in the calendar table. How we will be applying the filter on calendar and getting the data from GL, connecting the two tables. So that is where the joins will coming, but that will be later in this course. Right now we are just scratching the surface, and we are just learning the basics, so that when we go to the advanced areas we know the fundamentals. With this, let us move to the next areas in the next lecture, and we have a lot of interesting things to do.